내리실 때 발 빠짐에 주의하시기 바랍니다. Please watch your step. 8시 1분에 도착하는 KTX train is now approaching. Please wait behind the yellow line.
Another lazy afternoon. The clouds covered in gray. Third coffee of the day. Almost fell asleep and soon I yawn at the display. Third meeting of the day. But I can hear raindrops that dancing on the roof. It's like they're calling out, don't lose your youth. 'Cause
Das ist schon cool. Der Blick. Nicht schlecht.
na na na, woo oh oh, na na na, woo oh, na 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 na, woo na na na, woo na na na. When I was a little child, I naturally would see magic in the world around me. Now I often get so tired, it's harder just to be fascinated, breathing free. But I can hear raindrops that